I'm good.
Yeah.
Haynes' scheme, just why is it so good?
So it's a lot of things. Those guys work really hard up in the film room. They break down a lot of film. They break down film from the opponent, when we're in the summer and spring as well. So they have a lot of cut-ups. Really, it's just about using angles and attacking the offense. We don't really want to sit back and, kind of react to the offense. We want to get after them, get after the quarterback, kind of get them off schedule.
Seems very complex. How early on after he arrived did you feel confident in it?
So it's something that, takes a while, but, it was good having, older guys in the room, guys that like Jay walked last year that you could learn from. And, he takes the time to really teach it and, you learn the nuances. And then once you kind of get a grasp on the scheme, you can start to get on a roll and everything starts to go together and what the safety rotation is, you can play really fast.
Can you take us into the history of that back injury that you had? Was it 2003, kind of during the season that derailed it? Like what happened and how long did it kind of last for you?
Yeah, so that was kind of something I kind of started with coming out of high school. It was just a little bit of a bulging disc and, it just progressively got worse and kind of played through it my freshman year and then had a microdiscectomy after the season. And after that, it took the spring to recover and felt like new after. So
I don't know anything about that procedure. How involved in that and how what's the rehab like?
So the rehab I was able to do stuff toward the end of spring ball, no contact, but I was able to go out there and move and run. So it's just they go and they just shave out a little bit of the disc that's pushing on the nerve, and it was my L5S1. But it's minimal invasive, and then once it's done, for me it was like game changer. Like felt completely different. So.
How bad was the pain when you were trying to play through that?
Yeah, if anyone's ever had it, they kind of know it's pretty rough. So it just comes with the game, I guess.
So here's my main question. So I think first of all, let me make sure my premise is right. Mike Koenig said you started scout team guy, right? Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So here's my question: is you go from scout team guy to major contributor for the number 3 team in the country. What were the biggest things along that path, skill-wise and outside of getting healthy, physical-wise, that took you from this to this?
So obviously, the physical part's a big part, but for me it was, mentally. Like he kind of talked about the scheme and understanding defense. That's something that we really talk about a lot in the linebacker room. It's something that I believe has really helped me with my game. Like not just knowing what the linebackers do, but knowing what the safety rotation is. Knowing if you got a flat corner rolled up outside of you, you can spill the ball to him. You can play fast and slip inside. So just kind of understanding the scheme and then being able to learn from older guys, learn from like Cam Jones, Ace, Aaron Casey, guys like that, and just be able to take everything you learn year by year and kind of just put it together. And here we are.
What were the
How
conversations
much
like?
better are you now than if you compare you now to you a couple years ago? Give me your view. How much better are you?
Night and day difference.
Okay.
I believe a night and day difference. I can just play faster and just play in the scheme. So night and day difference.
What were the discussions like when Cignetti takes over, Haynes comes over? Who was your first meeting with? Like, did you know you were going to stay? Like, did you have to hear from them first? What were those conversations like, and how did it kind of develop that you decided to stick with this staff?
Yeah, so when we found out, Coach Sig was coming, that was something that, I was excited about. I kind of researched, kind of knew his track record from where he'd been at Elon and James Madison, and then saw that he was bringing Coach Haynes. And so when they kind of got in the building, it's a whirlwind, it's different. It's a lot of moving pieces, but I, reached out to Coach Haynes, and he reached out. We got in contact, and, before we went on kind of our December break, which would have been a while because we weren't going to a bowl game, I kind of reached out and was like, hey, I just want to, put a face to a name and, make contact. And so we were able to sit down and talk for quite a while. And I knew it would be a good fit to stay. And I really liked, what he had and what he offered and kind of the scheme we talked about. And I really thought it'd benefit me as a player. So.
Do you think being proactive helped? I mean, they could have said, that there were guys that they didn't necessarily want to keep, or feel like that put you on a right footing with him?
Yeah, I think it was proactive. I think I was actually one of the only guys that really went up there. It wasn't he didn't really reach out to anybody else. I kind of reached out to him because I just wanted to know who was going to be my coach. So that was one thing that I thought was proactive, yeah, but you kind of want to know who your coach is going to be, right? So I was curious and wanted to go up and put a face to a name so he knew who I'd be.
Not a lot of teams really play with 3 linebackers as a base these days. Just what is it about you guys that makes that work in this modern era?
I think all 3 of us, we I don't know if you're at practice, you kind of see we all kind of rotate all positions. So I think it gives an extra layer to the defense. It's another guy that's on the field that maybe is a 230-pound outside linebacker instead of maybe a 190-pound DB. It's something that in this league will help you because teams are going to want to try to establish the run, And then when you can shut down the run, it opens up all kinds of different things. You can start blitzing, you get them behind the sticks, you kind of try to trap the offense into what they can do and not let them kind of attack the defense.
As somebody who's in the building and here, before this staff came in, like you've seen what it was then, you've seen what the program's become. What's it been like to see the program become what it's become?
So that's kind of like, I kind of, Fish and jaywalk last year when we had all this success. Those guys came from a program that was, known for winning. For me, it's special. I would joke with those guys. I was like, you don't know what it was like before this, You don't know the 3 and 9s, the 4 and 8s. So for me, and I know for a lot of the guys that stayed over, it was special. It was like, so Mike Kadick, one of the guys that would be the stayed over. For us, it meant a lot. So to be able to see what we could turn this place into, and the involvement we get from the fans and the support we get from the boosters and the fans. So it was really special for me.
2 more for Isaiah.
Where did the nickname come from?
Bones Jones, that's Coach Haynes all the way. Big UFC guy. I don't really know when it started. It probably started the first year, like right at the end of the spring. He kind of started calling me Bones, and I thought it was just a linebacker thing, like we just use in the linebacker room. So like in the summer, I was walking through the weight room, and Coach Kuntz comes walking through and it's like, Bones Jones. And I was like, where did you hear that? And he goes, oh, that's all Haynes refers to you in the meeting rooms as. So I was like, all right, Bones Jones it is.
Do you like it?
I do. Yeah, I like it. I think it's got a nice ring to it.
Last one is, why do you feel this defense is as elite as it is? I mean, Oregon's averaging 56 points per game. You guys hold them to 13 from the offense, 1 touchdown, no touchdowns in the last 50 minutes and 15 seconds. I mean, stuff that nobody does to Oregon. You guys did it. Why? Why is it so good?
Obviously, you got to start with the top. So it's Coach Haynes. He gets us really prepared all week. He gives us looks that they might have done 5 years ago. He'll give us everything. And then the scheme, he gets us ready to play. He's not going to really put a defense in or a play in that we're not confident in. So, we have a lot and we do run a lot, but it's nothing that everyone's confident in every single play.
Okay.
So every play we have, every guy knows exactly what they're doing. And it's really just about playing fast. And then again, it's really about just getting after the offense. Don't sit back and react. Don't try to play after, if they've done what they want to do and it's like 3rd and 3. Like we only get them to 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. And then that's when, the dogs can start eating.
Thanks, Isaiah.
Yeah, no